All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. The Super EZA AGL Rose is finally here. He is rainbowed. He is level 10 Lynx. I'm very much looking forward to using him. We have him on the Carnival LR Rose and Zamasu's 220 lead. We have him next to Carnival LR Rose and Zamasu. He is very well linked up. The only two links he is missing is Super Saiyan prepared for battle. More importantly, we do have Big Bad Bosses active. He is starting with a very nice 677k attack stat, 341k defense. Let's give him some orbs. He is starting the turn with 200% attack and defense and has 20% damage reduction. And the nice bit is all allies in this rotation and in general will be getting key +3, attack and defense plus 30%. Not only that as well, he is a Goku Black unit, so he does benefit from Rose's Goku Black support. So not only is Super EZA Rose supporting, he is being supported by other units on this team, but more importantly, that beefy Goku Black support that Rose does give out to all Goku Black units. What was he putting out on super attack? 7.7 to start with. That is going to build up a ton. That is going to build up to 300%. He's getting 50% defense raise on super attack, so getting an additional or two with him is very useful to beef him out just a little bit. Right? Hit me. Hit me. As Rose would say, this pain makes me stronger. And that's exactly what it does. We do have a guaranteed additional, so that extra additional super he did was very handy. That is the guaranteed additional he gets in his passive. When receiving an attack, he does get 200% defense to go with his damage reduction, and does gain an additional 100% defense when HP is 70% or less. So not too difficult of a threshold to drop down to, especially with the type of content we do have in the game right now. Whether that is Red Zone, the brand new Global Dokkan campaign event, which is very difficult, very difficult. I've also heard that the new boss rush for the Divine Will Mortal Wrath event, I think that's what it's called, is also fairly difficult. So more often than not, we'll probably have the extra defense majority of the time. Then for every attack received, and that is why that 7.7 you shouldn't really pay too much attention to, will increase all the way up to 300%, and he does gain 60% attack each time, which means Rose only needs to be hit 5 times and you already have the extra 300%. So he's probably not going to link with in LR Rose, which is a bit annoying, but it is what it is. So he's up to a 1.357 mil attack stat already, and he's only been hit twice. Literally just twice. Crazy. Again, don't forget, everyone in this rotation is getting that key +3 and 30% attack and defense. So boosted LR Rose is also gaining it. And also for being hit, AGL Rose does get a chance to crit by 10% up to 50%, and does gain 25% damage reduction within the turn up to 50% as well. And I'm pretty sure, because it's stated to be within the turn, that only applies within the turn that it happens. Kind of like in SSBE, you have to build that damage reduction up to 50% every time he gets hit in the turn. It doesn't stay. So that's why I did say when we went for his Super EZA details, you might want to be careful, which we rolled it up to 15.5 mil, by the way. And we've also got a guaranteed additional coming his way. But I did want to say, obviously, even though it's more difficult to do that because obviously RNG, if you focus on enemies' cooldowns, you may want to keep AGL Rose kind of out the way of super attacks if you can. So we're up to 4 attacks. 1 more attack and he's got his full 300% attack. But out of the way as much as possible, because that first initial, if he was to take the first initial attack and it was a super attack, he'd probably die. Because he would only have 20% damage reduction to go off of. And, you know, potentially 2, 3 if hidden potential system is on your side, 2 to 3 super attacks, each with a 50% defense raise. Which isn't bad, but with the type of super attacks we are facing nowadays in Dokkan, ranging anywhere from 3 to 4, maybe even 6 million above, it's quite a bit of damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, no, do you know what? I'm going to pop the domain. Annoyingly, that is going to buff the friend Rose. And I've died too many times because of that Fizz Rose, and I really don't want to do it now because we are showing off AGL Rose nicely, so I'm going to pop an Usher. Of course, that's not going to affect the Super EZA AGL Rose. I'm going to hold on to the domain. Well, not the domain, the active skill for Carnival LR Rose. And then I'm going to pop my one next turn. And we're going to see potentially how the Super EZA Rose does with not only the domain up, but then eventually also the active skill support that Rose gives out on his active skill as well. But once Rose has fully built up that damage reduction in a turn, maybe you get away with it. I mean, typically he's going to be in slot 3 anyway, more than likely, because of all the support he gives to extreme class units. So you're probably going to have him in slot 3 majority of the time. Unless, of course, you do take him into the Global Dokkan campaign event, and of course he gets locked, or a unit gets locked that pushes him on the rotation. Then that's a different story. So for the most part, you could probably keep him out of the way of a super attack and have him build up the damage reduction with no qualms. Of course, if he was to take a super attack with the full 50% damage reduction and the 20 he does start with, that's 70% damage reduction with at least 2 to 3 super attacks boosting his defense. And then not only that as well, once you receive an attack, that's an extra 200% defense as well. That's a lot of extra defense. So after all that happens, Rose is a beefy boy. Then when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, or when there is another future saga category ally in the same turn, which is such easy conditional parts of his passive, because typically you're going to run him on a predominantly extreme based team, especially with the new Rose, the EZAs, etc. And they're all future saga units anyway. He'll have guaranteed guard, which is very helpful, again, considering you need to build up that 25% to 50% damage reduction in a turn. That's going to help pad him out a bit more while you wait for that to build up. Superclass allies chance to crit by 20%. Extreme class allies 20% crit chance. The exact same, except this is for 2 turns, which of course applies to everyone because it lasts for 2 turns. So let's pop the support. We also again have the domain up as well. Let's get that going. There we go. Big 5.7 mil crit. Love that. What is Rose looking stats wise? He actually still needs to be hit one more time before he's actually fully built up. But even while missing that extra 60% attack, he's up to a 2.985 milli attack stat, 521k defense. That is with the domain. That is also with the Rose support. Again, AGL Rose is supporting everyone on this rotation. I don't think that Goku Black has built up all that much. So I'm a little bit concerned. Don't forget guard right now. Double digits. Perfect. I'll take that. So actually now Rose is fully built up. The AoE's actually helped build him up. So thank you so much for that, Zamasi. Thank you so much for that. Now we can see him at his very best with the domain and support, along with being very well linked up aside from about 1 or 2 links. And don't forget, we've got a guaranteed additional super as well, so that's even more defense. Hopefully the hidden potential system pops off this time finally, because it hasn't popped off once. 40 mil! God damn. God damn. 26.8 mil crit, guaranteed additional, another 40 mil, that's another 50% defense raise. Is the hidden potential system going to pop for us? No. But then there we go. Damage reduction, guard. Again, I know the domain's up and Fizz Rose really isn't the best, but if you kind of baby him, you can get away with using him, especially if you do use items. But damn, you're looking at like, well, without the domain, 30 mil, which is still very good. 30 to 40 mil. A solid amount of defense once he super attacks, with in total 70% damage reduction and guard, while he is supporting a team that actually does have quite a lot of support circulating on the team. He is a very good unit. He just does a lot. As I said, in the right circumstances, if you don't receive a super attack early, which, as I said, that could probably kill him. That might leave him with, or leave you with very little health left, but that'll probably kill him. But built up, as I said, 70% damage reduction, guard, key plus 3, 30% attack and defense to all allies, and extreme class allies have an extra 20% chance to crit. He's a very good unit, and as I said, majority of the time he's going to be in slot 3 anyway, so not only is he doing good damage, defense is solid, but more importantly he's got damage reduction and guard, and he supports. Rose's doing a lot. You know, if I could change his build without using stones, if I had some copy spare, I'd definitely give him some dodge, just to give him a bit extra. Dodge and additional, because he has crit built in. But what a super EZA, man. I love the fact that the Fizz VB and AGL Rose are back. Like, they have come full circle, and it's so good to have him back with the Carnival LR. He's so good. This Super Easy A is insane. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.